Do you remember the throw that he hits to George Pickens? It was like 3rd and 18 or something like that. And he rips a beautiful. I'm like, yo, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Throws like that, where it's anticipation, footwork, and fundamentals. You throwing this thing on a rope. It's aggressive. I'm like, that's the Kenny that I know. That's the one that I want. But it's just, I don't see that enough. And that's my issue right now. But I'm like, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think
pieces of it.
Yeah, I don't think he trusts the receivers all the way right now.
Yeah.
No, Deontay could have something to do with that, and I don't think he trusts the O line. So that's like, and it's on him too. He's making bad decisions as well. But I think that's like you've brought up many times, like the popcorn effect of, all right, one play, receivers are open, but Kenny does think there's pressure there. He's escaping the pocket.
Yeah.
Other plays, he's dropping back. There is time. No receivers are open.
Mm-hmm.
Other times, there's no receivers open. The blitz is getting there. So I think it's just a mess all around now on offense.
It definitely
Plus
is,
the
man.
poor play calling and the poor flow that Canada has with it.
It all goes hand in hand with each other. It's a bad situation.
I would at least like a coordinator that's able to help the situation, though.
Fair enough.
That's my thing.
Fair enough.
And it doesn't feel like Canada's doing that.
And
whereas you got
I do agree with that,
guys like the Texans, dude. It feels like he's teeing everything up for Stroud in that offense.
Fair enough, man. I can understand that feeling 100%, man.
Stroud played good. Don't get me wrong. Like Stroud played good, but man, if you're doing everything right from like a play call standpoint, I think that only builds the offense's confidence. It only builds the players' confidence.
Me, I'm with you. This is where we go back, and people are going to have the different opinions because they're going to look at the Texans and say, well, they're dealing with C.J. Stroud, and we're dealing with Kenny Pickett. So if your opinion of Kenny is different than your opinion of Stroud, not you specifically, but for a person in this debate, that is going to have an effect on how they view the coordinator. Because if they're saying, well, you're dealing with C.J. Stroud, he's a way better player, well, then there's no surprise that C.J. Stroud looked like how he looked. And if you're looking at Kenny and you felt, man, he ain't like that, he's this and he's that, well, they gonna say that's what it's supposed to look like.
Sure. I can't believe that right at this point right now. From what I've seen
Fair
from
enough.
Kenny thus far in the league,
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud being the rookie that he is. I mean, you can even talk about other young quarterbacks like Jordan Love or A. Rich looking decent over in the Colts system.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Dobbs with the Cardinals. Those dudes aren't all way better than Kenny.
Yeah.
That's my thing. But I think they're able to have some offensive coordinators that could help them out a little bit better than what Canada's doing here. That's all.
Okay.
I'm not trying to make all these excuses for Kenny either, but
no, I get what you're saying, though, because that is context. It does matter. Absolutely.
let's just see. This is what I'm saying. Let's just see. I feel like the Matt Canada experience or experiment should be over. Let's see what Kenny does with an actual coordinator with a track record. This might be the next problem, though. We're just going to hire or promote Mike Sullivan instead of bringing in like a Todd Haley or a guy that actually has a good track record in the NFL.
We say that, but I even think back to the Matt Canada hire, and this is, once again, depending on which stance you take with this. We talk about you bring in one of these coordinators. But if I'm the coordinator and you're telling me I have to use that piece and I don't want that piece, why would I come here? So when I think of Matt Canada and I think of the scenario when we hired him, we said 7 was the quarterback. We all knew that was technically supposed to be the last go around, but he was going to be here. If you're a fired up, you feel dope about it coordinator, but you know I got to work with that piece, maybe they weren't interested in working with that piece. Because you know I'm going to be handcuffed to an extent, and whatever he does well, that praise is going to 7, right? So there was a potential there. Maybe Canada was the only thing that was out there for you. So when I look at this situation with Kenny, I'm like, if we come back with the same mindset of Kenny's guaranteed to be here, does that hinder the potential hiring crop that we could work with? I'm not saying it is. I don't know. But it did, have me thinking about it.
Let's call up Haley. Can we get him on for an interview?
And what if Haley's like, bro, I don't want to deal with that, though.
Ask him what he thinks of Kenny.
And if he legitimately said, I don't think he's good enough to win, what's the move there?
I'm hard-pressed to think that he'd say that. And I don't know Haley's exact opinion. I've just heard so many other opinions of quarterbacks, people that know ball, former coaches, whatnot, talking very highly of Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
Talking very high. Thinks he's going to be a good player, solid player. Now, again, hasn't played as good as what I was hoping for in 2023. But to just simply say, because of this quarterback, I'm not going to come here, I don't know. I'd be hard-pressed.
Okay. Once again, we got the beauty of we don't have consequences for that decision. It's different if this is you, your family, and you hitching all of your success to that player, though. That's a totally different conversation. Right,
Haley's out of the league right now, though. So
Haley was coaching in the USFL.
What's he got to lose?
He was coaching the USFL. If we being real about it, he was coaching.
That's what I mean. Would you rather be an NFL coordinator or a USFL
Just
coach?
depending on who you're talking to, man. Depending on who you're talking to, man. That's all. Hey, I ain't saying it is or ain't. I'm just throwing stuff out there. That's it, man.
Byron Leftwich, even.
You know, I'm down. I like B.
Mark
Leftwich,
Whipple.
man.
I don't even know what Mark Whipple's doing.
Now, why y'all like Mark though?
Connection to Kenny.
All right.
Why not?
I thought y'all don't like the whole internal and all that type of stuff. Doesn't that still feel, even though he's not in-house, wouldn't that still feel very internal?
I feel like it gives Kenny probably what he wants, or...
I thought he wanted Canada.
I don't know.
And that was the whole purpose, even that.
Well, I'm saying if we get rid of Canada, if Kenny had an option, I'm sure Whipple would be at one of the tops of his list. So then, to the crowd that's ripping on Kenny, is questioning is he the guy or not, like, I feel like this gives Kenny everything that he would want or need, and then you can have a full assessment on him for the rest of the season and going forward. As opposed to, if Canada's still here, you're still always questioning, is this coordinator screwing everything up?